Hi people, my name is Chris. This is my wonderful webcam, and I'm going to show you how to install OpenBazaar server on a virtual private server, Ubuntu 14.04. My preferred VPS service is Vultr.com. They accept Bitcoin. I'm going to deploy a new server. Oh wait, before I do that, I need to create a SSH key. I'm going to go to SSH keys, and locally I'm going to generate one. It's an interactive command. I don't like using the default name, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to set a passphrase. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to show the contents of the public one. I'm going to copy it. And add it here, and give it the name OpenBazaar test, paste in those contents, and that's good to go. Alright, now I can create an instance. And I'm going to choose Chicago just because. Ubuntu 14.04, the lowest end package will do the trick. No startup script. Use the SSH key I just created. Set a host name to something cool. Tarek, if you get the reference. Add me on League. Username is eCrispy. Okay, so Tarek's installing. It'll take a couple minutes. Alright, the instance is resizing. Oh, what? I'm so confused. Okay, what happened? It's done. Okay, we can go to manage, or we could just copy this IP address. It's kind of hard to copy that IP address, so I'm going to click manage and scroll down a little bit. Here we get the IP address of the virtual private server. I'm going to copy this, bring it into our terminal. Use the command SSH. I'm going to move my face out of the way. SSH root at the IP address, and then use the I flag to say we're using a different, I just got an email, a different SSH key than the default. Oh, I just showed you all my SSH keys. Don't laugh. Okay, you can laugh. Which one is it? OpenBazaar, yeah. Okay, and this is saying it's the first time you've connected. Are you sure you want to connect to this server? And you say yes. And then we have an issue here. It's asking for a password. Why do you want the password when I just told you to use a SSH key? What is the issue? What is the issue? What is this issue? Oh, I just didn't give it long enough. It was still provisioning. Here we need to unlock our SSH key with that passphrase we created earlier. It was freedom. I'm going to click that remember password so I don't have to type it in again. Log in as root. We did that. We need to create an OpenBazaar user. User add. Create a home directory for them with the M flag. Use the following shell bin bash, and their name is OpenBazaar. Give them sudo access. User mod. Add the supplementary group sudo to the user OpenBazaar. Give OpenBazaar user a password. Password OpenBazaar. There's going to be lots of passwords for this process, so go ahead and make yourself a note in a text document or something with all these passwords. Putting down the first password in a text document, and then this one is going to be the password for OpenBazaar user. We're going to make a strong password, so it's going to be like something like that. Make a strong password. I'm pasting it, and then hitting enter and pasting it again. Set successfully. Just make a note. OpenBazaar user password. And this one is the SSH passphrase. Okay. Next is give OpenBazaar user the public key. So we're logged in as the root user right now. We want to be able to log in as the OpenBazaar user, so we don't have to log in as the root user in the future. To do that and not have to log in using their password, because password authentication is less secure than secure shell authentication, we'll give the same password, the same public key to the OpenBazaar user. So that file, that key exists in the file root hidden folder SSH authorized keys. I'm going to cat that out to show you. I'm just going to copy that file to home OpenBazaar.ssh like that, but I'm not going to do that yet. See, if I did that, it would fail because there's no SSH directory yet. So I'm going to make dir home OpenBazaar.ssh and then rerun that command. Okay, it's copied. Those permissions, those file permissions are root. We want it to be OpenBazaar. So changing ownership OpenBazaar, home, OpenBazaar.ssh, and that should be recursive. Okay, so that's good. The OpenBazaar should have the SSH key, so we'll try logging in as OpenBazaar rather than root. Okay, we're in, and we should have sudo access because of the command we ran previously. Sudo I. Enter in the strong password. And, yep, okay. We got sudo access, exiting out of sudo. Next, we want to add third-party dependencies. These are dependencies not provided by Ubuntu, but that OpenBazaar needs. In this case, it's libsodium. Alright, so Ubuntu knows about libsodium, but we haven't installed it yet. Let's go ahead and update the known Ubuntu's list of known software with an apt-get update. And it shouldn't take long. And then next we're going to install system updates, because there's probably been Ubuntu updates since there's been Ubuntu updates, so we want to install them. Alright, that should take, I don't know, a couple minutes maybe. I'm going to go ahead and pause. Okay, we got our updates. That only took like 30 seconds. What did I just run? I did upgrade, and now we need to install a bunch of dependencies that OpenBazaar needs. By the way, all these commands are going to be in the description below. You can just copy and paste them yourself, and you can check them out and see what they do. This might take a few minutes. Alright, those are installed. It's time to install OpenBazaar server dependencies only available through third-party code. So we're cloning a Git repository here. Alright, we've got it, and now we're going to change directories into that repository we just cloned. We're going to run these three commands. This is one command, and then these two ampersands mean run the next command if the previous command exited successfully. These two are like preparing for compilation, and this third one is compiling the software. Compilation usually takes 5 minutes, about. Very good, very good. We have compiled, and now it's time to install. Another three commands. Make check runs tests on the software to make sure installed correctly. Sudo make install copies the compiled code to the appropriate directories on your system, like user bin, lib. What is this again? libzmq. And then the third command, sudo ld config, it has something to do with installation. I can't remember what that is. It's like links or something. This is going to take a minute or so. Groovy. Okay, next step is to get the OpenBazaar server source code. So first we need to change directories back to our home directory. That's important. And then we're going to git clone another repository. So we got now it's the OpenBazaar server directory. I'm going to change into that. List the contents. Now we need to create a Python virtual environment for the OpenBazaar server's dependencies. Do this with virtual env followed by the name. We're going to call it ob server observer. All right, and that's created the virtual environment. Now we need to enter the virtual environment, and we do that with the source command. It's kind of difficult to explain, so I'm not going to. What am I looking for? It's the ob server, a directory that was just created for us, and then bin activate. So we're sourcing the activate file for this virtual environment, and then we'll see right here at the start of the the terminal, I guess, it says we're in this OpenBazaar server virtual environment. Perfect. Okay, now let's install OpenBazaar server Python dependencies, and we'll do that with pip install our requirements.txt. That's a text document in this repository. That's going to install all the software listed in requirements.txt using Python's pip package manager thingy. This takes a minute or so. Python dependencies are installed. Now it's time to configure our OpenBazaar server and add a username and password to it. We're going to use nano to open the file ob.cfg, which exists in the repository. We're going to scroll down and remove the hash, or not from SSL, from username and password. Remove the hash or # from both username and password, and set your own. I'm going to set the username to Chris, the password, a strong password, very important. I'm going to take note, I'm going to make a new strong password. My lips hurt real bad. 1988 _ taco or something. Yeah. I'm going to copy that. I don't know if copying works in Nano, so I'm not even going to try it. Alright. Perfect. Save the file with Control X. Now it's time to start the OpenBazaar server. We do this with the command python openbazaar_d.py start. And then we give it a flag with A. And this is telling the OpenBazaar server to only allow the following IP address to connect to your OpenBazaar server. This is a security feature, and if your ISP does not, if your ISP gives you a static IP address, go ahead and put your static IP address of your home computer in that, following the A flag. My I'm thinking about IPFS. My ISP does not give me a static IP address, so I'm going to have to tell OpenBazaar to allow any IP address to attempt a login. This is why the OpenBazaar password we just set is so important, because it needs to be strong, otherwise someone could just brute force their way in. Okay, so let's start the server. And this process does take a few minutes. Excellent! Our OpenBazaar server is online. If you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back because you've completed step 1. Step 2 is hardening your server by enabling an SSL connection from your OpenBazaar client to the OpenBazaar server and disabling password authentication into your VPS. Stay tuned for the next video on that subject. Until then, have a great day.